Voices that shape the narrative, truth that stands unwavering, culture that defines our people, governance that drives change. The Bangsamoro Lens.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome again for another episode ng Bangsamoro Lens. Pag-uusapan po natin with regards to the coming Bangsamoro parliamentary election and those people who are very significant on the Bangsamoro issues, the coming Bangsamoro parliamentary election, and so as mga kilalang personalities within the Bangsamoro area and issues and stories. No, kaya mapalad tayo ngayon, and this episode is very exciting dahil may makakasama tayo that kumbaga knows the Bangsamoro at the back of his mind, at the back of his head. Attorney Alex?
Well, Nords, no? Again, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh sa lahat po ng sumusubaybay ng ating The Bangsamoro Lens. Napakahalaga po na mabigyan natin ng perspective, Nords, no? Kung ano ba talagang saan nag-umpisa,
Yes.
from ARM to BARM, ano yung mga security implication, at ang maganda rito, as the election is nearing, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga, every now and then, na-heighten yung mga issue ng security, and so on and so forth, and we are very, very fortunate that yung pong ating magiging makakasama natin at panauhin po natin ngayong episode na to, Nords, hindi mo matatawaran yung kanyang lalim pagdating doon sa usapin ng national security, paano nag-umpisa yung armed struggle sa ating Bangsamoro land, no? At hindi lang po yun, siya po'y nagsilbing, masasabi natin, former Secretary of the National Defense, Presidential Advisor on National Security, Presidential Chief of Staff, Presidential Advisor on Special Concerns. At hindi lang po yun. At some point, naging bahagi rin siya nung nagkaroon ng negotiation during the foreign
yan ang importante.
So ito, masasabi mo na merong tinatawag tayong institutional memory.
Yan.
At ito po, mga kasama po natin, mga kababayan natin, without further much ado, I would like to introduce to you our guest today, no less than the former Secretary of the National Defense, Norberto Gonzales, sir.
Hello, kumusta po? Kumusta?
Secretary, how was life after government?
Ay, less busy, pero pareho lang din. Kasi hindi mo lang pwedeng talikuran yung mga issues na nakita mo, lalo na nung nasa gobyerno ka. So that gives you a perspective kung paano mo bibigyan ng sagot yung mga nakita mo mga problema. Tapos paglabas mo, gano'n din pala yung problema. Hindi pa na 10 taon ako sa gobyerno, akala ko may mga nagawa ko. Pero if you look at the situation today, parang walang nangyari.
Parang wala bang pagbabago?
Pero balikan ko lang maganda yung tanong din na nung nasa labas ka na, parang sabi mo nga, parang halos wala rin nagbago, no? May mga punto ba na parang, alam mo, madali lang sana yan. Ikaw ito ang ginawa.
Being former.
You're
What's
tempted,
happening right now?
yeah, tempted ka to say that, pero alam mo, kantsaw yan eh. 10 taon ka doon, hindi mo ginawa, tapos ngayon nasa batas ka, sa mga pwedeng.
Tama.
Ganun yan eh.
So, pag gano'n ang argumento, paano nagkakaroon ng, siyempre, iba yung narrative noon, iba naman yung narrative ngayon.
Yes.
But
Pero same issue.
same issue.
Oo.
Kaya yun nga yung parang ang nangyayari dito, parang yung bang alin ba talaga nauna, yung ni Manok o yung ni Third, no?
Totoo yan.
So we are circling on a perennial issues, but at the end of the day, andito pa rin yung issue. But the good thing now, Secretary, is that of course, unlike before nung ARMM, alam naman natin, nag-iba na yung form of government, from the presidential to a parliamentary form of government, and this is brought about by the comprehensive
Agreement on the Bangsamoro.
and then nagkaroon tayo ng BUL that sabi ko nga, pag dinidescribe ko yung sa regional, parang meron tayong state within a state.
Oo, magandang kunin natin
diba?
yan.
So yung ganito, how do you see this? Ito na ba yung talagang one of the lasting solutions to the ongoing conflict?
Well, kasi alam mo, kung titignan mo talaga, ano gusto mo mangyari sa Bangsamoro? Okay. Pag tinignan mo yan, siyempre, ang magiging batayan mo dyan, the one you really want to base your actions from is what is the situation of the Bangsamoro, the people?
Mhm.
Have their lives been improved? How about their participation in governance? Questions like those. So kung titignan mo yan, I think na very sad that paulit-ulit yung parang expression of concern na parang hindi pa rin naaalagaan o hindi pa rin nabibigyan ng attention yung the common people of Bangsamoro. So yun ang, to me, that will be the measurement. No?
Okay. But before we go through, alam natin that karamihan din sa mga listeners natin noon yun, medyo hindi nakikilala ang isang former Secretary Norberto Gonzales. How did we start po with the government? Ano po yung during those times? Ano po yung mga naging Attorney Alex mentioned some, pero a little bit of recap. Paano po nagsimula si Secretary Gonzales?
Well, kung siguro, mahaba yun eh. Siguro,
Oo, syempre.
kailan ako nagsimula sa, maybe siguro yung involvement sa Bangsamoro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, doon na lang tayo.
Doon na lang muna tayo magsimula. Alam mo kasi, on my really younger days, siyempre aktivista. Kasi nag-martial law. Ngayon, ang nagkataon lang na ang nakasama natin are the pillars of political parties na nawalan ng poder, like the Liberal Party. So, I had the opportunity na magkaroon ng encounters the likes of Joby Salonga, Rodrigo, Maglapos, mga ganun. Senator Calao. Puro liberal eh, kasi sila yung tinanggal eh. Si Ninoy doon nakakulong. No? But we were interacting with it. Kami naman mga aktivista, I was in my 20s. Sa mga usap-usapan, dumating ang puntos that one time si Senator Salonga just said, mukhang wala ng pag-asa to pakakuan lang, pa-issue lang ng mga position at saka yung mga patagong rally kasi bawal alam mo ng martial law, people, maybe the younger people do not realize wala talagang freedom, no? Mag-5 lang na kayo na magpulong, pwede na kayo ikulong. 5 during those times, no? Kaya mahirap talaga. Kaya ang nangyayari doon, susulat ka na ng parang papel, quietly passed on. Yan ang paggawa ng issue ng araw, very difficult. But at the same time, sabi nga ni Senator Salonga sa akin, sabi niya, Bert, mukhang hindi na pwede peaceful. Sabi niya parang, hindi na kaya. Ang ibig sabihin, pero tayo namang mga nandito sa mga Kristiyano, wala naman tayong guerrilla. So, kailangan mamili tayo. Saan tayo hihingi ng tulong? Ha? Sa New People's Army, ng CPP, or sa MNLF. Wala pang MNLF doon.
So, MNLF is existing?
Well, existing na. MNLF. So, we choose the MNLF. Kasi ayaw namin paging komunista. At saka kami naman, marami sa amin, mga Catholics. So, God-fearing. Alam naman natin ang Muslim, katulad lang ng mga Catholic.
Yes.
Yan. We fear the same God. We have mostly the same belief when it comes to our faith. No? Kaya napili namin MNLF. So it was my task. O yung inutusan ni Senator Salonga kung paano makipag-ugnayan sa MNLF. Una ko sinubok Sabay. Akala ko meron dyan. Nahuli ako ng Malaysian TV.
Wait, teka lang. Before you continue, are this information you're telling right now andon o bago lang na naririnig natin ngayon?
I have no idea because these are itong mga nasasabi ko, isusulat ko to sa aking autobiography.
Wow! So may ano na tayo?
Kumbaga, ito na yung DCC.
Well,
preview.
Kumbaga, preview of the life.
This is, sabi mo kasi, yung buhay natin yung, alam mo, yung kasi, yung, what I'm saying is known to the MNLF.
Okay.
Kasi, kaya yun lang, nagharap ako ng opportunities para makausap si Dr. Pesuani. The short of it is, we met in Jeddah. Nakausap ko in one of the, kasi ang balita, kasi si Dr. Pesuani, taon-taon yan, nag-hajj. So I took advantage of that season. I was able to go to...
Mga anong year na yan, Secretary? Mga
70s.
70s.
70s. And you are already on your
Wala.
30s?
Wala pa, mga 20s pa lang.
So, ibig sabihin
20s
nun,
at that young age.
ang nangyari
Wow.
guys, parang at the time, si Nur Mishwari, well known na siya for the MNLF. And then, here you, at that time, parang you want to connect with him.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, nabanggit nyo, mukhang hindi naman tayo align doon sa communist, no? Sa New People's Army. But basically, kung titingnan naman natin at that time, mga sinusulong ng Moro National Liberation Plan is more on, kumbaga, mas may pagka-local.
Patriotic, kumbaga more
Patriotic
patriotic in a sense.
So, nung nakausap nyo sa
Yes.
Jeddah, anong konteksto nung
Well, talaga
meet and greet lang ba yan?
Walk us through one and in every detail.
At that time, separatist pa si
What
Brother
the
Lou, no?
separatist?
Separatist siya. Gusto niya
Hiwalay talaga.
independent para sa Moro. Kaya,
Okay.
yun, nung madinig ko yan, ayun, ako, personally, parang mission mo na yan. Huwag namang hihiwalay. Huwag
So you
hihiwalay.
personally asked Nur Mishwari to na wag na mahiwalay.
No, at that time, ang usapan doon, at that time, pinag-usapan namin, kaming nasa Luzon kaming nasa mga Kristiyano, nasa dictatorship kami. The friend of your friend fighting the same enemy is your friend. So, sabi niya, ngayon, piresenta pa sa akin dito, maganda yan kasi, alam mo, ang revolution, parang dalawang legs yan nagkataon, legs ng Muslim at saka legs ng gustong mag-struggle sa North. No? Kami yun. So sabi niya, dalawang pillars yan. So okay. So sabi niya, cooperation is possible. Pero alam mo, pinaka-importante niyan element is the wife of Nur Mishwari, si Desdemona. Desdemona, the first wife
Yes,
of Nur
yes.
Mishwari. Siya yung, kasi alam mo, very suspicious na mga pinapatay ang mga Kristiyanong nakikipag-usap sa mga Moro ng araw yung trust is very difficult to establish. But Desdemona, for some reason, by luck or by chance, Desdemona, when she was taking her university schooling, yung kanyang, isa sa napasukan niya, yung ano tawag doon, yung nagpa-practice yung mga malapit gumraduate.
Interns, parang like
Doon
interns.
Desdemona, ang napasukan niya opisina ng isang Jesuit, si Father Blanco. Isa sa mga leader namin si Father Blanco at that time. So, nung malaman na Desdemona, disipulo ito ni Father Blanco, Jesuit. May social service ang Jesuit nando si Desdemona. So, binulungan niya yung asawa niya. Bait ka. Kilala ko yung opisina ng Jesuit na leader nila. So, that established the
Relationship.
The relationship. Actually, it's the wife. Kaya medyo napagtiwala tayo ng kaunti na ganyan. So, doon na nagsimula. I stayed in the camp of the MNLF. Hindi lang namin ako niya, medyo refused kung saan tatakbo. Ako kasi may pressure ako sa ulo nun
Wow.
Kung saan tatakbo.
And these are all happening during the martial law.
Martial law years ito. Tapos ko kailangan paano kami, tulungan niya kami. Paano ba kayo nakikipagbakbakan? Wala kami alam dyan. We have not handled any weapon, etc. So, the short of it ay tinanggap kami ni Nur Mishwari. So, we joined them in Japiras sa Sabah. I stayed it. Nagtagal ako doon, mga 2 years. Ako doon sa loob ng kampo ng mga MNLF. Sa community, halos lahat ng mga commander ng Bangsamoro nandyan.
In Sabah.
In Sabah.
Kasi during the time na wala pa naman yung MILF, talagang the figure, the iconic figure of Moro Revolution was then Mishwari.
Alam mo, MNLF talaga ang nagsimula at palagay ko halos nagtapos ng revolusyon. Yung mga revolutionary sa MILF, mga dating MNLF yan. So
technically, they are one in the
walang
same.
MNLF na revolutionary na laban ng panahon na.
Pero sa kanina, batay doon sa kinukwenta mo, parang ang nakita ko doon, nagkaroon kayo ng commonality as far as, yun nga, sabi mo nga, we were fighting the same enemy at that time. Though of course, magkaiba yung direction, but basically, we know what we were struggling for. Siyempre, of course, sa MNLF, medyo regional ang dating. But on the aspect of your group at that time, kasi hindi pa pumasok doon yung pagiging socialist.
No, social democrat ako.
Social democrat.
we were
ka na nun.
we were
Okay.
exploring the possibility of becoming social democrats. But
Okay.
ang hirap naman mag-connect sa social kasi nung panahon na yun.
Wala pa nakakaintindihan.
Noong panahon na yun, hiwalay ang ideologies doon.
Yes.
Yung democratic socialism,
Mm.
may organisasyon yan.
Yes.
Yung merong Communist International.
Yes.
So parang tatlo yan. Merong
Tatlo yan.
communist, merong socialist, at merong revolutionary na
Hindi saka merong liberal.
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 Tatlong world organizations yan. Ano? Yung sa komunista siyempre, Soviet yan, tsaka
Yes.
Chinese.
Ah.
Noong pa man, ang Social Democrats ay nasa Socialist International based in Europe. Mga partido naman sa Europe, mga democratic yan. Tapos may Liberal International. Yung Liberal International mukhang nawala ngayon eh. No? Kaya ang natitira yung mga yung Socialist International hanggang ngayon meron pa. Anyway, yan ang mga alignments. Sa Muslim naman, siyempre, Organization of Islamic Conference, yan ang tinatanaw na pinupuntahan ng mga rebelde na Muslim. Kaya si Nur Biswari nakababa sa Middle East. OIC yan. Organization of Islamic Conference na pinupuntahan. Anyway, shortage na lang
Sige.
natin.
Fast
forward.
forward.
Ganito.
Saka na natin balikan.
Fast forward, tingnan natin yung, kasi nandyan na yan, nakita na natin yung historical
At least
narrative,
we established already
At least,
na at
kumbaga,
the age of 20, andun ka na.
Ano ka na, kumbaga alam mo na yung
Oo,
issue.
oo.
Pumunta na tayo doon sa ARMM.
Alam mo,
para-
kaya because of that, because of our stay in Jampiras for 2 years, wala, kilala ko yung major commanders ako.
So you know the in and outs of
Well,
MNLF.
nung araw, ang nangyari kasi dyan, that gave us an opportunity to learn what the aspirations of the Bangsamoro is. Kasi gabi-gabi yan eh. Talagang
Yes, yes.
Pinag-uusapan
They have this
niya.
orientation.
Pero nung
vision of the...
secretary, medyo maganda yung last statement mo na gabi-gabi pinag-uusapan yan. Pero sa part mo ba, did you ever entertain the idea na posible mangyari itong ganito? On the part of the MNLF struggle.
Well, ang importante dyan, I have an idea of paano
Ano yung pinaglalaban?
wag maghiwalay.
Basta ang concession na lang, wag lang humiwalay.
Sa akin yun. That
Okay.
was my own personal vision. Sana wag magkahiwalay. Ang Mindanao at saka the rest of the country. Tapos, yun, marami na nangyari. Nagkaroon ng triple
Of course, nagkaroon na tayo ng
agreement, ganyan, etc.
agreement, and then
And then, kaya nga,
administration.
Nung manalo si Cory Aquino,
You seated.
ay ako yung kinuha ni Cory
Oo.
Okay.
Oo.
to be her.
And that was one great help information that you
Yun
seated.
ang ako ngayon na naging tulay.
Okay.
Nagkaroon ang the first meeting of Cory Aquino with Nur Miswari was in Hulo. I arranged that meeting.
During that time, what's your position during
Wala.
the Cory time? Wala.
Wala. Alam mo nung kapapanalo ni Cory, ang
Ay, it's
dami,
a revolutionary government.
oo, tsaka
technically.
ang dami nagsiserve kay Cory, walang pwesto.
Yes.
Pero,
Kumbaga, ikaw yung nag-focal person.
pero since nakakausap mo yung presidente, pinagtitiwala ka ng presidente, talo mo pa ang cabinet member.
Totoo naman.
Mo araw. Ganun yun eh. Ganun yun eh. Kaya napalapit ako kay President Cory, tsaka ako yung kanyang ginawang bridge. So, yun, nagsimula kaya ang talagang nag-establish ng walang gera, nagkaroon ng peace agreement, happened in Sulu. Nagpirma si Nur Miswari at saka si Cory. Doon nagsimula yun. Doon nagsimula, kaya nagkaroon ng peace talks.
Walagay ko,
Cory went
that
to-
paved the way.
Cory went to
Paved the
Sulu.
way
Cory
for
went
the
to Sulu?
subsequent, ano.
Yeah.
Hindi ko yan alam, ha?
Ay, nako. Yan ang problema
I didn't
natin.
know that Cory went to
Ang
Sulu, ha?
problema natin, wala pa tayong cellphone.
Mm.
Wala pa tayong...
Hindi ka tulad
masyado.
ngayon na
Kung nakita nyo, talo ang nangyari sa EDSA, sa nangyari sa Sulu.
Mhm.
Nung dumating si Cory dyan,
Mhm.
days before that, lahat ng mga Moro nagpunta sa Hulo na lahat ng kwan. I was able to convince General Ramos to gamitin ko yung Navy. Lahat yan, yung mga barko ng Navy, puno-puno ng Moro yan, tumatawid papuntang Hulo. Katakot-takot to the point that literally, if you were in Hulo, day before or the day of arrival of Cory, kung gusto mong umihi sa isang corner, hindi ka pwede umihi. Punong-puno
huli
ng
ka.
tao. Lahat. Walang privacy. The whole of Holo is full of Bangsamoro people.
Who was the governor by that time?
Hindi ko na natanda.
Hindi mo na maalala.
Hindi ko na
But the
alam.
purpose of Cory was to go there and sign the agreement.
Of course, ang pumirma para kay Cory, si General Ramos yata. No? May pipirma para sa kanya. But she was there
To witness that signing.
to witness that signing. May 5 yan or something.
At that time, si General Ramos,
Chief of Staff.
Chief of Staff at
Chief
that
of
time
Staff.
ng Armed
Sabi
Forces
nga sa
of the
akin ni-
Philippines. Okay.
Sabi nga sa akin ni General Ramos, kasi alam mo, pinag-awayan pa yan kung pupunta si Cory o hindi sa Holo. Tumipit na Suarez.
Security measures.
Pati nga si Norby Suarez, tagal ko kinumbis niya na pumunta sa Holo. Sabi,
You were the one who convinced,
Lord, to go, to convince Cory to go also.
Wow.
Kaya ko yun. Ang nangyari noon, hirap kasi sinabi nga sa akin ni General Ramos, sabi niya, Bert, alam mo bang nagawa mo ngayon? After the meeting na cabinet, ano bang ginawa mo? Ano po yun, sir? You mobilize the entire armed forces.
and you have no position by that time.
Wala na.
And at your age was?
Mga 30 na ako. nun.
Bata pa.
Ano pa rin, no?
Very
Tapos,
influential.
punong-puno ng idea
The
niya kayo.
influence that you have.
Nakakatawa doon yung pinuntahan, sinama ko ni General Ramos. There's yung Buddhato, yung
Yes,
Buddhato
yes.
sa
One
Holo.
of these historic sites.
Dinala ko ni,
Buddhaho.
the evening before Cory's arrival, dinala ko ni General Ramos niya. Sabi niya, Bert, kita mo yung nakahilera na 155. Yung pantok. Nakatutok yun sa Holo. Lahat yan nakatutok sa Holo. Sabi mo kay Nor, ang may nangyari kay Cory, pupulbusin ko yung Holo.
Wow.
That's the language that
Sumalangit nawa.
Oh.
that's the language. Tapos alam mo, doon nakita ang lakas ng MNLF. Kasi ang nagpapatrol sa Holo noon, 50,000 armed men.
Wow.
Puro MNLF. 50,000.
Overwhelming. Yung
Umiikot
puwersa.
yan. Ay, hindi naman. Ako naman sabi mo kay Nur, hindi lang yung 155 ha. Alam mo yung Palawan, yung ating airport sa Palawan, ilang minuto lang yun, dito na sa Holo.
Naka-ready na rin.
Yung lahat ng natitira nating Air Force.
So what
Lipad.
was the feeling of pressure during those times? Navigating all of this.
Wala naman. I mean, you have to do these things. No? You're doing, kasi ako, I feel good because you're serving both interests. I like to help our friends, Bangsamoro. At the same time, Cory is very open.
Kumbaga, on your part, that was a fulfillment of
Okay.
Gaining the trust of then
A little bit of backtrack lang. During the Tripoli agreement, where were you? Since you have already a connection with Nurmiswari.
Kasi ang Tripoli
Since you-
Agreement, initiative yan ng Armed Forces at saka ni First Lady.
Yes, oh.
Because-
oh.
Wala pa ako noon.
But you're communicating already with Nurmiswari.
The community of Hidor Biswari, wala pa rin.
Wala pa yung Tripoli.
Hindi
Okay.
ko na maintindihan yan eh.
I just want to...
Basta ako yung...
Ang Tripoli Agreement kasi was signed in
76.
1976.
76 ang Tripoli.
alam mo,
Oh, yeah.
about the same time lahat yan.
Pero ang mga crucial dyan is yung Tripoli Agreement and then subsequently yung pagkakapirma na during the revolutionary government ni Cory, the signing of
Kasi
the peace
84.
agreement.
84 yung
Oh.
Kikori during
Oh.
those times.
Kasi doon na nag-start
anong year
yung
yung
formal.
signing?
Yung
People
Cory,
power was
hindi.
84.
Hindi. People power is 86.
86 rather,
So,
86.
87. 87.
87 nangyari pumunta si
Si Cory, syempre.
So abrupt, at the moment that she took power, pumunta agad siya ng Sulu.
Isa yun sa immediate na. Kasi, alam mo nangyari noon, mga pag-take over ni Cory, 200 commanders of the MNLF were in Tripoli. Nasa Tripoli sila, nagpaplano sila ng offensive.
Separatist pa rin ang plano.
O, yung hindi, ang plano na noon, ay sabi niya, kung magkakaroon ng negotiation with government, kailangan i-occupy natin yung mga territory na pag-uusapan.
Yun na-mention doon sa Tripoli.
Okay.
Kaya pag ipapasukin ng MNLF forces yan.
Kumbaga, all those territories cited doon sa Tripoli Agreement.
Actually,
So,
24 provinces.
identified. Okay.
Yung papasukin ng plano ng MNLF,
24 provinces and now we're talking in the BOL is only 6 provinces.
Yeah,
Grabe.
isa yan sa mga jokes. Anyway, pinag-uusapan ng invasion
Wow.
ng mga MNLF. But nagpunta naman ako doon sa pwede na siguro sabihin to. Nagpunta ako doon kasi I have people
Nagpunta saan?
sa Tripoli.
Tripoli.
Pumunta ako sa Tripoli kasi may mga tropa ako na nasa Madrid, Spain. Naka-headquarters yung PDSP naman.
At whom's order?
Hindi, akin yun eh. I mean,
Kumbaga, on your own
Meron
initiative yun.
initiative.
meron kami partido na naka-station sa Madrid, nakikipag-relate sa Socialist International sa Europe.
Gandang basahin ng libro.
Pero doon, nung nandiyan kami, uuwi kami eh. Kasi mga ilan yun, marami kami doon eh. Wala kami papasahe. So punta ako sa Tripoli to talk to the MNLF. Manghihingi ako ng
Siyempre.
tulong. Then I saw but everyone was there. Eh marami doon, kilala ko sa Jampiras. Nandun ako, no. Baga ako na-excel kasi sa Madrid. Jampiras muna eh. Anyway, they were there. They were planning an offensive. Sabi ko kay Nor, akala ko ba best friend mo si Ninoy Aquino? Pinagmamalaking dyan eh. Best friend sila. Eh bakit mo mag-offensive ka? Alam mo bang nangyayari? Very fragile pa ang gobyerno ni Cory. Mag-offensive ka, babagsak yan. That's exactly what I told her. Huwag mong gawin yan. Sabi ko, gugulo ang Mindanao. Eh kasi ang nangyari naman dito sa atin, lahat ng mga loyalist ni Marcos na mga military officers in-exile sa Mindanao. Ripe yan for gulo. Kasi nahandyan naman mga loyalist ni Marcos. Sabi ko, delikado si President Cory. Huwag mong gawin yan.
So nagkaroon tayo ng peace agreement during the time of then the late Cory Aquino. And then eventually, after ng peace agreement, ano yung mga sumunod doon? Hindi masasabi natin na milestone accomplishment from them.
Marami yan, mga Jeddah Accord. Marami.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jeddah Accord.
Okay.
Marami
Actually, marami
pa
papeles yan.
Okay.
Pero this is the sad part of this.
Dami niyan.
Nagsimula ang negotiation during the time of Cory.
Cory,
Ng panel.
So that paved the way for the peaceful
negotiation. Daming negotiation. Anyway, there was about to be settlement. Nag-interview ng Malaysia because ang hinihingi ni Normi Suarez originally is the whole of Mindanao, plus Palawan. Tapos napagkasundan yung Tripoli Agreement which is 13 provinces. No?
13.
13
From 26, naging
13 provinces. Yun ang Tripoli Agreement. Pero ang nangyari doon, I have a friend, PDSP, si Father Integan, wrote an article saying that, sabi niya, 13 provinces, hindi talaga makaka-take up ang mga Muslim, mga Bangsamoro, hindi. Sir, why? Kasi if you look at the composition of the different provinces in the 13, majority are Christians. In any election, talo ang Muslim. Kung
Kumbaga outnumbered. Pag nagkaroon ng plebiscite.
pag nagkakaroon ng mga plebiscite o mga ganyan, pagka-botohan ni Kristiyano, Muslim,
Oo.
talo.
wala na.
Talo Muslim.
Definitely.
Okay.
So, sinabi ni Father Integan that these provinces, majority ang Muslim. These provinces, they're the biggest minority.
Okay.
Kung papayag
So,
na,
doon na-identify yung pinaka-barb ngayon.
diyan nagsimula.
Okay.
7 provinces lahat.
Okay.
Sabi nila, pagka pinagsama mo yan, biggest minority sila, majority sila in 4. May laban ang Bangsamoro sa election.
Okay.
Bakbakan ng election dyan, di ba?
Tama.
I presented this paper sa Malaysians. Written by Father Integan.
Now, this is somewhere 1990s na. 90s na.
Ano na yan?
87.
87. Okay.
Mga 97 onwards yan kasi
Paano ito?
nagkaroon ka na ng peace agreement eh. So yan yung mga sumunod.
Ito na yung negosasyon na ito ng
Okay.
create ng autonomous regions eh. It so happened, inabot kami yung malapit ng mag-expire yung revolutionary power ni President Cory.
Okay.
Kasi nagka-eleksyon na tayo,
So,
na-elect na yung Senate. Yan. Ngayon, ang nangyari dyan, before the expiration of his revolutionary powers, gusto ko sana magkaroon na tayo ng signing. Kasi si Cory lang kakausapin mo dun eh.
totoo.
Eh kung pagka nag-Senate na, nag-House na, naman naman hindi alam, di ba?
Tama.
Punta kami kasama ko nung si Ting Jaime, who was the Finance Secretary of President Cory. We went to Jeddah. Yung pala, without me knowing, yung paper namin, dala-dala the Foreign Minister of Malaysia flew to Jeddah, presented the paper to the Secretary General of the OIC. Nakita yung Yung
Ano
seven.
yun, nag-leak?
Or organization
Nag-leak
na
yung ano niyo?
conference yung
Ito,
OIC na yan.
pinakita namin yun. Kasi, of course, we really wanted to influence kasi kawawa sa 13 provinces ang Bangsamoro.
Okay. That was the talks.
So, binigay namin yan. Nakarating yan sa,
Oh, I see.
nakarating sa OIC, sa Secretary General. We were there the day before. Sabi ng Secretary General, this is the right formula. Sabi niya, this is the right formula. We will use it. Sabi namin, paano po si Dormiswari? Don't worry about Dormiswari. We are the OIC. He will listen to us. Kaya the next day, signing of agreement, 7 yun.
7 provinces.
7 provinces. Ando kami ni Ting Jaime, ako. So, akala nila, si Bunorga made a passionate speech. Kasi masamang loob niya sa 7. Sa 7. Masamang
Feeling niya na-dilute ng
13
gusto.
to,
Diluted yung numbers.
siya talaga dyan. Kaya sabi niya, hindi pwede. Pero because of his respect to the OIC, he will agree. So, in other words, there is may authority kami to sign. Agreement na. Sabi ang ginawa ni Ting Jaime, yun na nagkamali kami, tumawag kami kay Cory by phone. Sabi ni Cory sa amin, you cannot sign.
Wow.
Sabi niya, agreed. Signing the next day with the Secretary General of the OIC as the witness. Sabi niya kasi, nagreklamo si Jovi Salonga at saka yung ibang liberal party. Sabi nila, dapat yung klase na agreement, dapat dumaan muna sa Senate yan bago mo pirmahan.
Wow.
Ginano na may power pa si Cory. Sabi ko, may power ka pa eh. Nakinig si Cory sa senador. Kaya kung hindi sana, 1987, meron na tayong final peace agreement. Alam mo, kinagalitan kami ng Secretary General ng OIC. Sabi ng Secretary General ng OIC, sabi niya, you know what you lost as an opportunity? We were prepared to give this new autonomous government $500 million and more are coming. Eh doon, alam mo yung $500 million.
Ang napakalaki na.
1987.
Parang parang ang labas niya, black grant din yan.
Sabi niya, that was just the beginning. And how come you're not signing? Wala kami masabi. Na inabutan tayo ng democratic restoration sa Pilipinas.
Ayun.
That is why yan, gulo na naman yan.
Parang
nung
ilay
na na-pursue yung secretary, of course, pumasok na yung Ramos administration. At nagtuloy-tuloy yung
Puro agreement lang yan. Ako, nasali ako.
Pero doon sa pag-convince kay Dormiswari doon sa GRP MNLF agreement na pinirmahan at panahon na ni then President Ramos.
Well, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Kaya lang ang problema, kaya nga nagugulat ako ngayon kasi bigla naging 4 na yan lang yata o 5 yun.
province.
Actually,
Kung hindi pa na-split yung Maguindanao,
dati isa lang yung Maguindanao, ginawang 2. Pero ang problema naman, naalis
natanggal na naman yung Sulu.
So,
Province.
Ito pa, maganda itanong yung kay okay, sige.
Wala, natigil ang negosasyon sa panahon ni Cory, di-restore ulit ni President Ramos. Siyempre napasama rin ako ng kaunti niya. Tapos, ang maganda, pagpasok ni President GMA.
Okay.
Kasi pagdating ni GMA, siyempre,
Yes, during his
pumasok
time
ka
na.
as
So,
Secretary of
official ka na.
secretary na ako doon eh.
Official na.
Talaga
official.
ako din ang ginamit ni GMA to facilitate siya.
Kumbaga may mandato ka na to push for all
Kaya
these
yung
kinds
lahat
of
ng nangyari ngayon, halos ginawa panahon namin yan. Kaya lang.
Talagang kulang yung oras na.
Oo,
Hindi pa tayo napupunta dito sa Bangsamoro election, ha?
Anyway,
Which is,
ganyan natin.
pero mag-fast forward na tayo.
Sige, fast forward,
Fast forward sa
Secretary.
Bangsamoro.
Let's proceed from ARMM to BARM, no?
Farm election, BAM parliamentary election na tayo. Maganda pag-usapan kaso talagang sayang.
Ang regret ko lang talaga nangyari kasi before the BARM happens sa ARM. No? Ang problema, nung pumasok, nung dati puro MNLF ang kausap eh. Nung negosasyon na ng BARM, MILF ito medyo may problema tayo kasi sa Malaysians. Kasi galit na galit sila sa ang mga Malaysians nung galit na galit kay Noor. Kaya
Was it because the Sabah?
Well, laging
Nandun.
nandiyan
Lagi
yung
nandun.
issue nila.
Nakatali pala.
Ako pa nga kinausap ng Malaysian, sabi niya, introduce mo naman kami doon sa mga MILF. Kasi hindi kilala ng Malaysian sa MILF to begin with. Kaya we introduce sila Haji Murad, etc. Anyway, to cut
Sige,
the
Sek,
story short,
ito. Ano natin doon? Dito na natin ipapasok yung expertise mo kasi nagkaroon na tayo ng RMM, nagkaroon na rin tayo ng BARM, no? Well, basically on the security aspect, ano yung masasabi mong
Sa ngayon,
political gains ng ARMM na dapat tinutuloy ngayon ng BARM?
well, alam mo, I started narrating these stories really just not to be sentimental about it. But these are all have bearing on the problems we're facing.
Okay.
Kasi bago na namin naiwan yung negosasyon, ang sinabi talaga namin sa Malaysia, the first order of business, kailangan mag-usap ang MNLF at MILF.
Okay.
Third-party facilitator ang Malaysia, Philippine government. Tingnan natin kung paano sila mag-uusap kasi they're talking about the same territory.
Totoo naman.
Di ba?
Oo.
Ngayon, ang nangyari, nung nawala na kami, ang nangyari, naging dominant na yung MILF, nawala na yung MNLF.
yes.
Pero
Oo.
mostly very minor roles na lang sila until today, no?
Mm.
This is where the problem lies. Kasi ngayon, ang nakita natin yung march yung nag-march na sinasabing, sorry, nagkamali ako na ginawa ko.
yung
400.
po sa 8,000. Kasi medyo umani ng ano yan, umani ng kinagat
yun
ng ibang
eh.
mainstream media.
The
no?
secretary
I stand
would
corrected
like
daw.
To rectify
Oo.
na
Sige, sige.
Hindi talaga 400 yan, mga
40,000 at most.
yung exaggeration doon ay 40,000.
Okay,
Between 30 and 40 yun. I think. Sorry about that. No? Medyo breakfast ako yun.
Kaya nga.
Sa Chavez. Anyway, ang problema nating lumalabas ngayon, nakikita natin na parang nag-aaway yung sa BARM, yung mga Malacanang
Okay.
supported MILF.
Mhm.
And then the MILF, sila Haji Murad, sila Iqbal, etc. Di ba? Sila nag-aaway. But there's a third party, there's the MNLF. Kaya bali tatlong away yan. Kasi ang sinasabi ng MNLF, yung maraming agreements na pinirmahan natin ng mga kapanahon na natin, marami dyan hindi pa na-implement. Of course, this will be refuted by some, siguro sa gobyerno, i-refute nila yan. Pero yung may mga fundamentals talaga ako, may sulat akong hawak galing kay Muslim Insema who is now claiming to be the chairman of the MNLF. Andun yung narration ng mga hindi pa napupulfill sa
Yes,
agreement.
on the Tripoli.
So may mga deliverables pa na hanggang
Meron
ngayon,
ba?
di
Nandiyan pa yan. Diba? Tapos doon sa MILF naman, nag-aaway sila ng isang paksyon.
Pero kasi ganito, Sek, of course, this public knowledge naman yan, yung ARMM was a product of the MNLF-GRP agreement,
Yes.
and yung BARM naman is a product of the MILF
Na-overlay
led and the government disagreement under the BOL, no? But basically, kung titingnan mo yan, kasi parang lumalabas, even during the ARMM and now the BARM, there's always, parang the same playbook is being rewritten all over again,
Well,
somehow.
Alam mo, I would say na until the time of, at least during my time, ang playbook doon is not to divide.
Okay.
It's not to divide, but in fact to give what we can sa Bangsamoro. Even during the time of Pinoy.
Mhm.
Okay, pero ang masama kasing nangyari, nung panahon kunyari ako, I was criticizing the armed governance of both Norby Suari and Parukasin. Kasi may level of corruption dyan. Alam natin, no?
Nangyari. Which is na nangyari. Oo.
Pero dito sa BARM, medyo nakakakwa na. Bakit yung naupo dyan sa BARM, pumayag silang maging conspirators ng pagnanakaw dito sa Luzon. No? Laundering yan eh. Kasi ang balita ko to naman
Mhm.
ito naman ay sinasabi sa akin na maraming nakakausap ko sa BARM. Up to 40% of what goes to BARM goes back to Malacanang.
Wow.
O paano yan? Paano gaganda yung Bangsamoro?
Mhm.
Yan ang accusation. And I think this is at the back of what's going on in the BARM elections today. Kasi ini-insist na may grupo na doon. Pero ang problema,
Well, technically, shadow.
Ang problema kasi, yung IMILF din, sila yung
They're pushing also.
sila yung pwedeng magkaroon ng kaso doon sa mga nawawalang na hindi ma-account na resources.
Well, that's very unfortunate, Secretary, dahil of course alam naman natin na yung BARM initially was a MILF-led. In fact, even the members of the parliament, talagang yung number favors the MILF, no? But eventually, as itong Bangsamoro parliamentary election, nakikita na natin nagkaroon ng massive political realignment from one party over the other. In fact, there are even members of the MLF that went through other parties, no? But basically, yung mga ganyan na lumalabas ngayon, in fact, sabi mo nga doon, that's very alarming dahil yung tension in the ground, whether we admit it or not, talagang nandyan, no? There are disgruntled groups na they still believe na yung pakikialam nandyan pa rin. Pero ngayon, ang tanong ko dyan, what are the biggest risks prior to the Bangsamoro election ng September 2026?
Since in one of your interviews na mention mo na there's a possibility baka hindi matuloy itong election.
Well, ang hindi pagkakatuloy ng election, I think, has nothing to do with the tension in the BAR. It has something to do on how Malacanang see the significance or importance or utility of the BAR.
Pero balikan rin, will it benefit a certain group if election will be postponed? Or mas papabor ba sa kanila kung matuloy yan?
Sino sa
All
kanila?
this kind of
Siyempre,
trouble.
Malacanang or
Kapag natuloy election, siyempre panalo yung Malacanang.
it's all kumbaga the house always wins.
Iya nga. Tsaka plus the fact that medyo mahina yata ang MILF ticket eh. Medyo mahina yata. Yun lang naman ang napabalita. Yung MNLF, kontento na yata sila na masali lang eh. No? Kaya ang bakbakan talaga, yung old MILF at saka yung Malacanang sponsored MILF plus ibang mga kandidato na wala sa
Do you assess that as a unfortunate for the MILF? Yung nangyayari ngayon?
Well, ako, unfortunate for the Bangsamoro people.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunate kasi
It's more unfortunate to the Bangsamoro people.
kasi,
So at the end of the day, the Bangsamoro people will have to deal with this kind of
kasi alam mo kasi
kumaga bruhahasag.
ako kasi sana maganda if one of the parties involved will take the issue of corruption as a major promise to.
But it's only MILF. Kung titignan mo, sabi mo nga yung MILF na isa and then the MILF backed by Malacanang. Pero I will add on the equation. The MILF backed the umano by Malacanang and so was plus backed by the local government leaders who are traditional politicians who are trying to mingle down yung nangyayari between the
Kasi
MILF.
lumaki na gusto ang budget ng farm.
So that's it.
So instead na makatulong yung paglaki ng budget, ito pa yung naging cause of
Ang laki ng budget.
animosity.
Plus, I think known to politicians.
Yan.
Known to politicians,
Yan.
known to
Kumbaga,
parties involved, itong budget na ito madaling nakawin.
okay. So parang
That's very tempting.
So parang tingnan natin. Dire na natin
Pero
During the,
linawin mo yung budget natin madaling
Kaya yun-
nakawin. I mean, what does it make it easier na nakawin para to the other budget from the
na,
national?
it's one form government naman.
Medyo naano ko nun na sec.
Pasensya ka lang. Alam mo ako, I meant no harm.
Yes.
Wala akong kinakampihan dyan sa election. Kasi alam ko naman itong election na to will probably not result into something better for the Bangsamoro.
You see that.
I'm sorry to say.
Yes.
I'm really, really sorry and sad to say it.
Wow.
Pero,
This is coming from a person that already knew ways back.
kaya nga, hanggat mari nga, ayoko na sana magdumalaw dyan muna sa BARM kasi mahirap magsalita tungkol sa mangyayari sa election dyan, no? Kasi I don't think that there will be malinis na election dyan sa BAR. No? Ang mangyayaring election sa BAR, katulad na nangyayari na election dito sa atin sa Luzon. So, there will be cheating, there will be babaha ang pera, buying, coercion.
Parang ang bigat ng dating sa akin nun Parang ang bigat ng dating sa akin ng statement.
Pero that's in a way will be something unimaginable prostration on your part. Having, invested so much
may lights
on
of,
this peace
sa akin,
process.
may lights of hope. No?
Okay.
Kasi there is, and it's a hope and it's probably the threat.
Okay.
There is reorganization going on in the Bangsamoro. Old networks are being revived. Nagkakaroon tsaka I have listened to some young, yung tinatawag lang mga sons of martyrs.
That are now all professionals.
Wala na.
Attorney, abogado, well-educated.
Well-educated, eloquent.
Yeah, that's true.
And they remember the days of their father, their grandfather, memories of history are there. These are signs of hope. At the same time, for the
Signs of
Philippine
hope.
government, these are possible threats. Kasi alam mo, and I'm saying this not only for the Bangsamoro, but for the whole nation. I am telling, alam mo, retired tayo tsaka matanda pa. So para bang you're just, ano ba?
Sasabihin na, matandaan na si...
Ano ba yan? Pero sinasabi ko lang, sa naiintindihan ko sa national security, no? A little bit of defense. Dapat hindi mo yung tool for change, no? Tool for reform, tool for satisfying the demand of a particular society or groupings. May mga tools yan, di ba? Sa tingin ko, sa nangyayari sa atin, lahat ng tools na democratic nawawala.
Nawawala na.
Tinatanggal tingnan mo, weaponize na yung ating justice system. May kinakasuhan na hindi naman dapat kasuhan. May senador na biglang nawawala sa pwesto.
Yeah.
Things like this.
Naku.
And this is happening nationwide. Sabi ko, there will come a time when the people, both organized and not organized, will see what options do we have left that is democratic and peaceful. Sa Bangsamoro, baka mas mabilis yan. Na mag-iisip na yung mga bata. Yung mga nagbubuo ng grupo-grupo yan. No? Let the intelligence people give you data on these things. What options do you have left? Election natin, dayaan. Tingnan mo yung nag-aaway-aaway. Tapos sumali ng lahat kamo yung mga politiko dyan.
Okay.
What is there for the future of the Bangsamoro?
Well, pero Secretary, nandiyan yan, nabanggit naman natin, even at the national, this kind of assessment is not exclusive in the
To
BARM.
the Bangsamoro.
That's to the Bangsamoro people. But probably, whether we like it or not, kung magkakaroon ng election, siguro one thing that you may impart to the people of the Bangsamoro is really, anong pwede maging mensahe natin dyan? I mean, with all this kind of lalarawan natin yung yung mangyayari, but at the same time, maganda rin yung binabanggit nyo na despite all of this, merong signs of hope. And let's cultivate that kind of perspective. How do we rally the people, the Bangsamoro people, really to aspire for a better BARM?
Ako, I think the Bangsamoro doesn't need encouragement.
Okay.
I think there are enough educated Bangsamoro to understand what's good for them. Ako ang ina-address ko yung mga leaders na nasa itaas. Dito sa Luzon.
Okay.
Kung papabayaan lang nila ang Bangsamoro to decide their own fate, to decide their own future, to elect the leaders they want, baka may hope.
Pero
Baka doon
Sek,
ang hope.
ganito yan kasi yun nga, wala tayong problema doon sa Bangsamoro leaders, no? So parang ang lumalabas, ang disconnect nasa taas.
Yung gustong pakialaman yung eleksyon.
And ito bang disconnect na to, deliberate or
Baka may gusto kang i-mention na names.
not necessarily. We need not name names, but basically
Biro lang. Baka mamaya.
baka masara tayo nito.
So it's I think it's deliberate
Okay.
because the
And it's
choices-
known already. Alam naman.
Kaya nga sabi ko, bitawan lang na mga gustong magmanipulate.
Ilan na nga bumitaw eh.
Ang problema natin dito, itong sinasabi ko na ito, kakantsawan ako dito. Kasi
You have been there before.
At saka ito yung talagang lagi nating sinasabi ko, bibitawan lang natin ang pakikialam sa Bangsamoro sa democratic process. Mas maganda ang resulta. Eh, hindi pa rin siya, lalo na nung panahon namin, ang joke namin may mga kandidato na ayaw naman nating pakialaman dito sa Luzon pero pagka panahon ng eleksyon nagtitent na dyan sa harap ng Malacanang.
Kumbaga sila rin yung naglalabi, no?
Naglalabi dito, tapos uuwi, may dala-dala ng certificate.
So kumbaga parang nangyayari dyan, they are a willing victims of their own
There are
misgivings.
individuals. Ako, I have high hopes for the revolutionary movements. No? Sana ka ako natuto.
Okay. Pero two things, Secretary, no? Bago natin i-wrap up yung ating discussion.
Ako may last question rin.
Gusto ko lang probably ano yung magiging something you feel na you want to deliver a strong message to the Bangsamoro leaders, to the Bangsamoro people who will eventually cast their votes, assuming that there will be election on September of 2026, and probably yung hindi naman threat, no, but caution to the national government why it will be counterproductive in the long term if they keep on dipping their fingers into the Bangsamoro.
Ganda yan.
Kasi para as I said, the networks are being revived, no? Nag-groupings. Nakikita nila, and let's hope na hindi dumating sa puntos na balik na lang tayo sa armed struggle. Sana
Which is eventually.
wag na umabot doon. But there are murmurings about this, and I see some groupings that are already preparing for these things. Kaya sana wag buksan natin talaga yung ipakita natin na the option of democracy is still the best for the Bangsamoro. Yun sana ang appeal natin sa taas, no?
Before we end, I mean, I just want to take your comments with regards on the Bangsamoro Organic Law. Ewan ko kung may nakapagtanong pa sa inyo to, no? But how do you see it ngayon yung Bangsamoro Organic Law, the RA 11054? Let's talk about the block grant, let's talk about the fiscal autonomy, and let's talk about the parliamentary. What's your take on that?
Well, hindi ko masyadong nabasa, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hindi ko masyadong nabasa yan. Isa lang ang kung ako tatanungin, this is a time when we review. This calls for a total review of what we have signed, what has been agreed upon, and a review of certain conditionalities na gusto sana natin ginawa na hindi nagawa. Tapos alisin na natin yung noon MNLF, ngayon MILF naman. Tanggalin na natin yun. I mean,
But these are revolutionary plans with their own
alam mo, ang isang ginagawa
identity.
nila, they become political parties. Well and good.
Eventually.
Become political
Is
parties.
it because
and
of
fight
the
it out in
traditional
elections.
politics or politicians?
Let the traditional politicians have their own
Kasi
political parties.
ganito na nangyayari, Sek, gaya nga nung dati, no? Yung biro-biro din dati. Nung walang ira yung barangay, walang gustong tumakbo o kaya yung mamuno ng barangay. Pero nung nalagyan ng pondo yung barangay, ay, nagkakapatayan just for the position ng barangay. And as you mentioned kanina, ano yung madaling kumuha.
Madaling
Madaling
ang gamitin na lang natin madaling kupitin para medyo
That's why.
baka medyo civil pa.
Allegedly, based on reports and somehow, that's why the traditional politicians are dipping their finger right now because madali nga yung term na madali.
Ako naman kasi sa nakikita ko yun, malaki ang epekto sa Bangsamoro ng mangyayari sa overall national political situation. Kung maiaayos yan, ayos din yan.
So sabi mo, bumitaw lang sila, kung sino man sila.
Oo, at saka kung
Okay.
Parang sa kanila
Kailan
yata, Sek, parang ito
sabi
yung kata na hawak ko ang beat Hawak ko ang beat. Kaya, no? Wag naman sana ganon. Wag naman sana ganon. Mas mainam po, bumitaw na kayo sa beat. No?
Tama.
For the sake of the Bangsamoro people,
Kailangan ng part 2 to?
for the sake of the... marami tayong tatanong kay Secretary
Ang dami.
actually.
Dami.
In fact, yung kanyang pagkukwento kanina, kinat-short na lang natin.
Oo,
dahil abutin tayo ng ilang araw dito. But napakaganda and we're very, very fortunate. Ako, basically,
yes.
ito talaga yung
We were-
that gives us reason why we
Secretary,
want this
Yeah, yun yung sasabihin ko
Bangsamoro lens, no? as a platform so that people, lalo na yung mga kabataan,
Secretary
they
was
will feeling,
telling-
no? Yung mga ganyang kwentong mga
Dapat
these
na
are
malaman.
historic
Yes.
milestone at
Na hindi
that,
nasusulat.
hindi
sa
naman
libro.
na naisulat at at least yung mga kabataan na pwedeng nakikinig sa atin, they can learn from this kind of story in the lesson, in the struggles, in the sacrifices, in the way forward for the people of the Bangsamoro.
Sabi nga ni secretary kanina, he was telling something with regards on having the Bangsamoro lens na napakaganda. Merong platform where we could talk about, and then so as maipupush na din, because the reason why you mentioned some of those issues in the Bangsamoro, because sabi mo nga wala nagsasalita for the Bangsamoro. Tama ba?
Yes.
Oo. So kaya nagsabi talaga na
Kaya we are very
Kaya
thankful,
naman-
Secretary.
so yung
for,
40,000,
sharing
yung
your time.
400,000 daw Yung 40,000 lang yun.
At least for one.
Pero ngayon,
na-clear ni Secretary yun. Na
on
hindi
the
po
light
400,000 yun.
Secretary, ano niya po ang mga ginagawa niyo ngayon? I mean, to ano lang.
Sige, para
And then, are we expecting the book? Kailan ba yun lalabas?
Ay, yan hindi ko pa alam yan. Inspiration na lang.
Well, we're
Hindi
looking
ko pa
forward
alam. All
already.
I'm saying is that sana maisulat
Sana.
yan.
But-
Yeah, I have to admit that I'm becoming busy again.
But you're still significant when it comes to the national security issues.
Yeah, medyo
Talaga.
nakikialam ako kasi tingnan mo nangyayari sa segundo na lang. Tingnan mo nangyayari sa atin. Ano mga pinag-aawayan natin nationally, no? Fight of families, tapos contest of kung sino mas influential. But, for example, in the matter of the issue of China, for example, the whole world, lahat ng malalaking democratic countries in the world, na dati-dati for peace, are now preparing for war. Naghahanda sila, baka magkagulo sa mundo. Very active yung posibilidad na magkakagulo dito sa region of the world natin, dito sa atin. Kasi nandiyan ang Taiwan, nandiyan ang China, nandiyan ang Pilipinas. Geographically, we become a center. Dapat sana ako pinag-uusapan na natin, bakit ba lahat ng nag-aaway-away dito pwedeng mag-away-away sa Asia, nagtitraining sa Pilipinas? Questions like that will have to be, ibig sabihin, baka tayo maging next Ukraine. What kind of preparations are we doing? Well, how are we preparing our people? Questions like this needs to be asked. Ako medyo active ako sa ganyang mga issues. Gusto ko ihanda ang Pilipinas kung ano man ang mangyayari.
Actually, may joke nga dyan. Sabi nila, napakalakas ng Pilipinas pagdating doon sa preparation. Dahil tayo, mayroon tayong mga assets na wala yung ibang bansa, even China at that. Andyan yung mga tekbalang, yung kapre. So, pero di siya yung mga manananggal, no?
Anytime, pwede mong
na yan,
summon.
na talagang...
Okay.
Well, anyway, Secretary, thank you.
Anyway,
very
We're
much
looking
for
forward
finding
on
us.
having you again. We're looking forward on having you again.
I really want to express that.
Yeah.
Thank you for having a podcast.
Thank you also.
Maraming salamat.
Focus on the Bangsamoro.
Maraming
Very
salamat.
important.
Maraming salamat po. At again,
Okay.
Secretary,
Sige.
your parting
message,
statement sa ating mga Bangsamoro.
For the coming Bangsamoro elections.
Kasi gusto ko sana sabihin hanggang sa susunod.
Well, again,
We'll see more of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So ako, these are stories that has never been told, and these are stories that really the Bangsamoro young men and women would like to know, coming from someone na talagang who knows, gaya nga nasabi ko kanina, na alam niya yung Bangsamoro. Hindi man siya taga Bangsamoro, but he knows the people of the Bangsamoro. He helped the people of the Bangsamoro to have and achieve. Malay na, di ba? Muntik na nga, maging 13 provinces pa pala. But anyways, I'm always thankful to have yung mga personalities like Yusek na leading us on the way that is dapat na yun sana yung nangyayari. Again, thank you very much po. Okay, sige.
Yeah, so muli, ako po si Attorney Alex Sabaton
Yes, North
ng
Maguindanao.
Bangsamoro Lens.